Everything in space wants to kill you. Not metaphorically. Not in a poetic, Carl Sagan kind of way. Literally. Aggressively. With physics. Down here on Earth, the planet is basically an overprotective parent. It gives you air, a magnetic field, an ozone layer, and just enough gravity to keep your coffee in the mug. Space offers none of that hospitality. It's a cosmic Airbnb with no host, no reviews, and a 1-star safety rating. Killer number 1, radiation. Space is soaked in it. Earth's atmosphere blocks most of the nasty stuff, but step outside that bubble and your cells are suddenly playing dodgeball with particles that have been traveling for millions of years. Fun. Cosmic rays are atomic nuclei blasted out of exploded stars and black holes. They're moving at nearly the speed of light. One can punch straight through your body like it's not even there, tearing through DNA along the way. Your chromosomes do not appreciate the sightseeing tour. Then there's the sun, which is basically a nuclear furnace that never clocks out. Solar radiation and solar flares can spike radiation levels by orders of magnitude. A bad flare during a spacewalk isn't a sunburn. It's a career-ending medical event. Earth traps charged particles in the Van Allen belts, 2 donuts of radiation wrapped around the planet. Astronauts on the way to the moon had to punch through them fast. Linger too long and you're not an explorer anymore. You're a walking dosimeter with regrets. NASA tracks astronaut radiation exposure like a bank tracks your overdraft. There's a career limit. Too many trips, too much time outside the magnetosphere, and your body quietly files a complaint your grandchildren might hear about. SPF 1,000,000 would not help. The sun is not a tanning bed. It's a star. Killer number 2, the vacuum. Space is not empty in the dramatic movie sense. It's empty in the pressure sense, and that difference will ruin your afternoon. There's no air. None. Not a little. Not if you try really hard. 0. At sea level, air pushes on you with about 14 pounds per square inch. Your body pushes back. It's a balanced relationship. Remove the air and that relationship gets ugly fast. Your lungs aren't designed to hold a vacuum. Neither is anything else, frankly. Without a pressure suit, the water in your soft tissue starts to boil at body temperature. It's called ebullism. You don't explode like in the movies. Hollywood owes you an apology, but you lose consciousness in about 15 seconds. Not great. Not terrible. Actually terrible. And no, space doesn't suck you out like a vacuum cleaner. There's nothing pulling. Your body is the one doing the pushing, internal pressure trying to escape into a place with nothing to push back. Physics is rude, but at least it's honest about whose fault it is. Killer number 3, dust. Sounds harmless, right? Cute little grains floating around. Wrong. In orbit, that grain is a bullet. Velocity turns pebbles into armor-piercing rounds. Space doesn't need guns. It has speed limits that would get you arrested on any highway. Micrometeoroids hit the International Space Station constantly. Most are smaller than a grain of rice. At 17,000 miles per hour, rice is not a side dish anymore. It's a structural engineering problem. The station wears Whipple shields like a very expensive raincoat. A paint fleck once cracked a window on the ISS. A paint fleck. Not a rock. Not a missile. Leftover space junk moving fast enough to make astronauts pause and reconsider their career choices. One scratch from retirement. Moon dust is its own special nightmare. It's razor-sharp, clingy, and electrostatically charged. Apollo astronauts said it smelled like gunpowder and got everywhere, inside suits, inside lungs, inside equipment. It abraded visors, jammed zippers, and mocked vacuum cleaners. The moon is made of spite. Orbital debris is the gift that keeps on giving. Dead satellites, spent rocket stages, fragments from collisions, all whipping around Earth in a growing cloud of metal confetti. One collision can create thousands of new pieces, each hunting the next satellite. The cascade picks up speed fast. Scientists call it the Kessler syndrome. Everyone else calls it extremely bad news. Killer number 4 are the Sun. Again. Because one angle wasn't enough. In direct sunlight, temperatures on a spacecraft can exceed 250 degrees Fahrenheit. In shadow, they plunge to -200. Space doesn't do room temperature. It does extremes with commitment. On Earth, air carries heat around you, convection. In vacuum, there's no air to share the load. Sun-facing surfaces bake while shaded sides freeze. An astronaut's suit has to handle both at once. One shoulder in sunlight, one in shadow, and your body is somehow in the middle of a cosmic toaster oven. Solar flares can also fry electronics and spike radiation across entire orbits. In 1859, a massive flare called the Carrington event set telegraph wires on fire. Today, the same event could knock out satellites, GPS, and power grids worldwide. The Sun doesn't need to hit Earth. It just needs to sneeze in our direction. And please do not stare at the Sun. Even in space. Especially in space. Without atmosphere filtering it, unprotected eyes can burn in seconds. Your retina has no undo button. Sunglasses from a gas station will not save you. NASA has rules for a reason, and that reason is permanent eye damage. Killer number 5, gravity. The same force that keeps you on the couch can kill you if you get too close to the wrong object. Gravity isn't just what makes things fall. It's what makes things fall forever, faster and faster, until forever runs out of road. In orbit, you're not weightless because gravity disappeared. You're falling around Earth and missing the ground on purpose. But microgravity still takes a toll. Bones weaken, muscles atrophy, fluids shift upward into your face until you look like a puffy action figure. Astronauts exercise 2 hours a day just to break even. Get too close to a massive object and tidal forces stretch you. The side nearest feels stronger pull than the side farthest. Moons get torn apart this way. Saturn's rings are basically a crime scene. For a human near a black hole, the process has a name: spaghettification. Pasta was harmed. Gravity also makes coming home dangerous. Reentry turns your spacecraft into a meteor. Hit the atmosphere at the wrong angle and you either bounce off into deep space or burn up like a marshmallow in a blowtorch. Capsules need heat shields thick enough to survive friction that can exceed 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Bon voyage. Near a black hole, gravity doesn't just pull you, it pulls you apart differentially. Your feet feel more tug than your head. The result is less heroic astronaut, more cosmic linguine. Stephen Hawking wrote papers about this. Your skeleton writes nothing. So let's recap. Radiation shredding your DNA. Vacuum boiling your blood. Dust punching holes through metal. The sun cooking and freezing you simultaneously. Gravity stretching, crushing, or flinging you into fire. 5 killers. 1 empty backyard. Space is not trying to hide it. And yet, humans keep going. We've sent people to the moon, built a permanent outpost in orbit, and landed robots on Mars. We've mapped galaxies billions of light-years away. We are a species that reads the warning label and then builds a rocket anyway. Respectfully unhinged. Historically effective. Every mission is an argument with the universe. Radiation shielding, pressure suits, micrometeoroid armor, thermal control, carefully calculated orbits, engineering as diplomacy. We can't make space safe. But we can make it survivable for a little while. just long enough to learn something worth the risk. The void doesn't hate you. It doesn't know you exist. That's somehow worse. Indifference at cosmic scale. But look up on a clear night and you'll still feel the pull, that ancient itch to go see what's out there, even when what's out there would rather you didn't. Everything in space wants to kill you. Earth is the exception, a thin, fragile layer of protection we barely understand and often ignore. So treasure the air. Treasure the sky. And if you ever leave this planet, pack everything. Because out there, the universe is not rooting for you. It's just waiting. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more amazing facts about our world.